Welcome to my Days of Our Lives official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. John pleads with Konstantin for answers in Ava's room at Trip and Wendy's apartment. Harris awoke to find that Ava had brought breakfast in bed. Ava was happy that Trip and Wendy had been saved. Harris said that Clyde had to have had help in escaping Statesville, and he wondered if Stefan had had a hand in the escape. Ava dismissed Stefan as a possibility. Harris congratulated Ava for being a strong and empowered woman. Ava smiled tenderly at Harris, who thanked Ava for her liberality. Ava entered a call from Steve, who said that he and Ava demanded to meet face to face. Ava agreed, and after hanging up the phone, she told Harris to call her if he demanded anything. After Ava left, Harris picked up a portrayal of Ava and Trip on the nightstand. "I want to trust you, Ava." "I do. But damn it, you are over to commodity." "I know you are," Harris said to himself. Latterly, Harris was frustrated to learn by phone that Rafe had no new updates or leads on the hunt for Clyde. Harris also placed a call to Stefan, and he yelled in a voice communication for Stefan to stop avoiding him. In Horton Town Square, Julie and Eli caught up. Julie hoped that Eli and Lonnie would move back to Salem permanently, but Eli said that his new job with the FBI would keep him on the road. Julie and Eli left for the Kiriakis' manse. At the Kiriakis' manse, Konstantin continued his attempts to flatter and manipulate Maggie. Konstantin said that he missed his son more as time went on. Maggie sympathized, and she noted that she had lost 2 children over the times. When Konstantin held Maggie's hands, Maggie reflected on the power of touch. Maggie said that she was thankful to Konstantin for all the stories that he'd told her about Victor. Maggie added that Konstantin had touched her heart. Konstantin faked that Maggie had touched his heart, as well, and he said that he cherished her. Maggie expressed that she felt she was betraying Victor by having grown near to Konstantin. Konstantin said that Victor would want Maggie to be happy and to feel cherished. When Maggie said innocently that the history could not be changed, Konstantin said that there were frequently foul effects in the history that could no way be forgotten. Moments latterly, Julie and Eli joined Maggie and Konstantin. Eli participated that he and Lonnie were leaving Salem latterly that autumn. Maggie was happy for Eli. Julie gasconaded that Eli would relieve the world of wrong. After Konstantin left, Eli participated that he and Lonnie felt fortunate to leave Salem happy rather than agonized. Eli packed up his auto, and he prepared to leave. Eli and Julie hugged, and he said that he loved her. Maggie placed her hands on Julie's shoulders when Eli left. Julie was sad, and she asked Maggie if being sad made her silly. Maggie replied that she knew what it was like to live in a house full of people and still feel lonely. Maggie participated that she missed Victor and that she frequently woke up and forgot that Victor was no longer beside her in bed. Maggie told Julie that she felt a sense of guilt over Konstantin. "When I am with him, I feel drawn to him." "Oh, Julie. I detest myself for it," Maggie said. Julie said that there was no shame in choosing someone to spend time with. Julie added that Victor would want Maggie to feel loved. At John and Marlena's extension, John told Marlena that his agonies were only getting worse. Marlena sympathized, and she posited that saving Trip and Wendy had touched off more recollections in John. John said that he did not feel like talking about it, and he and Marlena left to join Eric for breakfast. At the Brady pub, Roman thanked Eric for Eric's help in harboring Lucas. Marlena and John entered, and they embraced Roman and Eric. As Eric talked about Jude's christening, Roman noted that John looked exhausted. Eric said that John was an idol for having helped deliver Trip and Wendy. John pushed back, and he said that he was far from an idol. Steve entered, and he asked if he could adopt John for a while. John left with Steve. Eric told Marlena and Roman that he loved being a father. When Marlena asked about Sloane, Eric dithered. Roman learned that Sloane had been drunk weeks before when Eric and Sloane had tried to host John and Marlena for regale. Eric said that he believed Sloane had a tendency to be jealous of Jude. Latterly, as Marlena prepared to leave for the sanitarium, Roman donated to babysit Jude for Eric and Sloane. At the Black Patch office, Ava met Steve and John. Steve wondered what Clyde had over Goldman. Ava said that it had appeared to her that Goldman was Clyde's gal. John criticized Ava for Clyde having left city. Ava pushed back, and she told John to get off his high steed. John grew more agitated, and he criticized himself for Clyde's escape. Ava noted that the three of them had all done effects they were not proud of. "Yeah, some really bad effects," John said with a strange look in his eye. Ava looked at John quizzically. Steve was quick to say that the effects John had done were in the history. Ava said that no one would ever know about her, Steve, and John having helped Clyde escape Statesville. Steve was skeptical, and he and Ava prepared to head to the sanitarium. Steve asked John to accompany them, but John said that he'd effects to follow up on at the office. Steve and Ava left. Alone in the office, John telephoned Konstantin. John asked Konstantin to meet him at the office. In Horton Town Square, Ava asked Steve if commodity was wrong with John. Steve covered for John. Ava grew emotional when she recalled Steve having saved Trip. Ava said that she was authentically thankful to Steve. Ava added that she knew Steve disapproved of how she had tried to hold Clyde at gunpoint, but she promised that she would only been concentrated on saving Trip. Ava left to return to Trip and Wendy's apartment, where she latterly set up that Harris had left. Outside the Brady Cantina moments latterly, Steve spotted Marlena. Steve said that he and Marlena demanded to talk about John. In private, Steve added. Back at Black Patch, John told Konstantin that he demanded to know what Konstantin knew about John's history. "My life hasn't been the same since we met up in the Domain many weeks agone. I feel like I've been tossed in the middle of a willowa, and I am just spinning around and around and around. Half the time, I do not know which side is over. And these damn agonies are endless. It's not affecting just me, but my woman. No. So, I am asking you, please. What the hell did you do to me?" John contended. "Oh, John. It isn't what I did to you. It's what you did to me," Konstantin said. Steve and John's history invades the present days of our lives. Spoilers for Friday, March 15th take a perambulation down memory lane as Konstantin taunts John with his once crimes, and Steve lays out his interpretation of events for Marlena. He said, Konstantin, John Capellos, came to Salem looking for plutocrat. Maggie's, Suzanne Rogers, plutocrat, in point of fact. But now it seems he's more into vengeance. John, Drake Hodgson, is responsible for killing his son. And Steve, Stephen Nichols, was also there. Now, Konstantin wants to control the pawn. 4 reasons. Reasons connected to vengeance. And perhaps also plutocrat. It's hard to tell. To that end, Konstantin taunts John with his days as the pawn. Meanwhile, Steve thinks it's time to come clean with Marlena, Deidre Hall, regarding the same content. It's better she hears his interpretation before Konstantin, or, worse, John, decides to partake theirs. Brats are it's hard to decide who wins biggest Salem brat of the week. On the one hand, there's